Okay, Shire, winner bracket final. Banshee Cup qualifier number 2. We are still in the winner bracket. We got a best of 3 series ahead of us, and our first map is Shire. I just had it on the board as Dragon Temple because the last map that we casted was actually Sky Temple. Yeah, the brain farts are really strong today. I think I missed a coffee or two, or maybe somebody slipped me a decaf. I'm not sure what happened, but yeah. We currently have the bans coming in. Again, teams are participating in the qualifiers. You can participate in as many qualifiers as you want. We have 6 in total. You gather points as you're moving through them. And then at the end of the 6 qualifiers, the teams that are at the top of the leaderboard, they are the ones that make it into the playoffs, where we have the prize money being fought over. $2,500 in prize money, all sponsored by the Heroes of the Storm. Sugar Daddy by Kevin, aka Psychiv, who we can also thank for tournaments like the Nations Cup, for example. And guys, once again, if you actually have not watched the Nations Cup, if for some reason you just discovered this channel right now, first of all, where have you been the last 10 years? But if that's just the case for whatever reason, go to the YouTube channel and look for the Nations Cup playlist. You can thank me later. It was the biggest offline event that we had in ages. We had multiple caster teams rotating through. We had an audience on site. We had teams from Korea, teams from North America. It was amazing. If you haven't seen these games yet, make sure to check them out. There's an entire playlist on my YouTube channel, and believe me, you're not going to regret that. If you haven't watched it yet, make sure you bookmark it right now before you continue with anything else. But with the Banshee Cup, we have another big tournament. Also thanks to Kevin, but we are jumping in now with our winner bracket final. Loser still has a chance to make loser bracket run, obviously, but both teams would love to go quickly to the grand final and not have to play all those extra games in the lower bracket. We got Blaze, we got Anubarak, so already a true and tried combo for the blue team, who are clearly the favorites here. But I gotta give it to the Enjoyers. They're a team that just doesn't give up. These guys are fighting and fighting and fighting and never give up. That semi-final that they played in the winner bracket was pretty spectacular. So, kind of now, Junkrat, Brightwing for them, at least initially, with bans on Muradin and on Rhaegar. Rhaegar as a ban is kind of funny to me too. But yeah, he had Dragonshire's obviously. Generally, is a lot that he can contribute, but it's kind of funny for me to just see Rhaegar banned. Leo, okay, we get the janitor in the house for the Enjoyer. It's actually the first time today also that we have Dragonshire. And I'm a bit surprised that we don't see Rexa at all. Lately on Dragonshire, I mean, he has a nickname King of Dragonshire for a reason, but lately we have seen him very early in rotations for Dragonshire matches, so I kind of expected to see the same thing here too. Not quite what we're getting. Tyrael as a tank, as a main tank, also an interesting choice now. Makes me a bit curious to see what the final pick is for the Enjoyers. But first, for the blue team, Stukov and Imperius. A triple front line to guard Hanzo and a lot of CC that they can use and follow up with Stukov's lurking arm. That leaves us with the final pick for game number 1 in the best of 3 series. Again, guys, whoever loses here drops down into the loser bracket. This is the second qualifier out of 6, and up to now, at least the qualifiers have been a blast. So many awesome games. Really entertaining and yeah, pretty fun. Chaotic. Chaotic is the word of the day. Tracer is our final pick, and with that we're heading straight into the first game of the winner bracket final of the second qualifier for the Banshee Cup. Game number 1, the Bratwurst boys against the Enjoyers. And by the way, if you guys are not fully aware of that, Bathrobe boys and Bratwurst boys are the same team. So yeah, just in case that this hasn't fully arrived at everybody's doorstep yet. It's essentially the same thing. They renamed a little bit. They're now called the Bathrobe. They're called Bathrobe and Bratwurst or something like that. And it's just way too long for the overlay, so we're swapping between the two a bit. Either way, blue team on the left with Hazops playing Blaze, Dino on Hanzo, we get Death Knight on Stukov, Ultralisk on Imperius, and Masquerade playing Nubarak. On the right side of the map, Ariel and Tracer, Ether on Junkrat, Lavikal on Brightwing, Richu on Leoric, and Itrax is playing Tyrael. Time to party! Yep, we get quick Ardent Restoration, and you know what Ardent Restoration usually means, don't you? When you see Ardent Restoration, it usually means that you're going to get quick Judgment. So, are we going to get Judgment here? I would be totally okay with this. I would not object at all. It would be pretty funny if we're getting some action with Tyrael diving in deep and then the rest of the team following up. I mean, it doesn't mean that you can't go for that more aggressive build and then simply decide to go into Sanctification regardless, but more often than not, what we're getting is Judgment if you're going for a damaged Tyrael. So, yeah. We'll see what they can do with this. For now, though, we have on level 1 for Brightwing also Hyper Shift. Blue team is already getting a bit aggressive in the middle and is, as you can tell, currently just trying to make a quick play for the thingy, for the towers. Has already taken one of them down and is going to move on to the next one within a second, I suppose. Nubrak on, then again, Masquerade is getting attacked. Spray game for him, still on point here. So, yeah, so far so good. And the objective is finally up on the map. So, time for the objective. Trying to see what the teams can pull off here. And which team is going to be the one to walk away with the Dragon Knight first. So, who are we going to get? Right now, at the bottom of the map, top lane obviously is going to be a 1 versus 1, where everybody is just going to slowly try to maybe rotate a hero or two every now and then over and apply some additional pressure. It's essentially what we're seeing right now. Down here, though, this is where the real fight starts, and that's already where we nearly got the first kill of the game. Yeah, top side still continues too. Ultralisk is holding on to it together with Ritual, but the two are very likely going to grab this quickly. Whereas down at the bottom of the map, Ether, low and nearly dead, was about to die down here. Yeah, that was clutch, that was close. But currently the red team is taking control. As you would expect, they got the numbers advantage down here and they're leveraging it immediately. Slight leading experience for them as well. They've also been managing to get Siege Giants for themselves. They defeated the blue ones and now moved over on this. So yeah, they're looking fairly strong here. Doing a great job, of course, controlling this for now. But with that very heavy front line that we see for the blue team, eventually when we're coming to those team fights, I would be more than shocked to not see the Bratwurst boys really getting the CC connected, and this is going to be the big problem for the Enjoyers, to somehow try and deal with that. This is also one of the reasons why I personally think that Sanctification would be pretty strong here. If you're trying to go into a Judgment approach, then the idea is obviously more often than not that you're trying to be the team that really, you know, drives the agenda, forces the fights, and is the one that is jumping in very quickly to get the kills done. But if you are dealing with this much CC, Sanctification can go a long way. Trades are getting caught down here as the first Dragon Knight is taken. Leo was too late. Richu just barely missing it. It was close, to be fair, but the Dragon Knight is still claimed. So DK #1 for the Bratwurst boys. They are starting to come in here to try and take that fort out. The level 7 advantage is now ready for them too, so they are getting a lot. At this point, I mean, it's basically the dream here. They're getting massive amounts of damage in the middle of the map, taking that wall out, and in addition to it, also the fort maybe? Yeah, I mean, now with Dino coming in, they're taking the entire thing. They're pulling it off. Hazo is forced into a 1 versus 1 against Itrax, but Tyrael is all of a sudden very much alone, is waiting for his cooler to come back and Brightwing to help out, but the jet propulsion comes in, and I think they're going to lose more than only one hero now that everybody is attempting to help. Lavakal is low, and he is dead. That's a double kill for the blue team, 3 kills to 0. They are firmly in the driver's seat here. And it is not the greatest opening for the Enjoyers. They lost the fort already. They are surprisingly only half a level behind. Given how this game went up to this point, I really expected them to be a bit lower than that. But nope. We're able to at least maintain experience range. To an extent, I suppose. But yep, nicely done by the Bratwurst boys. Now, we have them for now with growing infestation here. The nano coding is in. The lead in experience is not really all that crazy, and to tell you the truth, I expected them to hit level 10 a lot earlier, a lot sooner, and then being able to play around that heroic advantage. But it's not that big of a lead. It's half a level that the Enjoyers have to fight with now. Now the lead is going to be extended through the passive experience gains that we're getting from the Enjoyers. And in addition to that, of course, Blaze is reigning supremely at the top lane now, which is going to add a bit on that one as well. Push down at the bottom of the map. Yeah, by now we're having a Nuburak even sitting a bit at the side lane. They're still at half-level advantage, so the window might be small, but it's still there. And they're using it to mercilessly just like drive that fight past the fort, taking the wall down and really threatening this. Getting the Siege Giants into a good position for it too. And they are trying to defend. The Enjoyers are doing the best they can to try and fight this back, but it's tricky for them. Itrax is low. They're forcing it at least back and they're not losing the fort directly. But here comes the choice, and they actually go Judgment. They're really doing it. They go full Judgment on this one, and I want to see if that is what turns the game around in their favor, because I remain skeptical. I love myself a good Judgment material, but I still remain highly skeptical that they're able to do something here. There's Judgment, and well, if Stukov positions like this, then yes. If Death Knight insists on committing honorable Sudoku, then of course he's not gonna survive. Judgment on point, that's a kill, that's the first one, and they're even getting a second one. I mean, you can quibble about the positioning a bit that we've just seen from the Bratwurst boys in this fight. I don't think it was all that great. But yes, the second the heroic abilities are ready for the Enjoyers, they are starting to get some kills and are closing the experience gap even further. So, great for them, I guess. Bit unexpected, to tell you the truth. But I mean, it is what it is. So, Hazu is also getting attacked and has to bunker up. And this might be a first Dragon Knight. And yes, it is. Did Masquerade actually jump around there for a second? Did he hesitate on the stun for a moment, or did I just imagine things? I mean, either way, we now have 23,000 damage for Hanzo. We got 17,000 for Tracer. 3 kills to 2. And now the chance to go for the next fight. Yes, Tracer's getting immediately attacked, and Arian goes down. Tyrael cocooned, and they have to try and drop him as well. He gets stunned again and is definitely in trouble here with the jet propulsion follow-up. He gets stunned once more, and that is the end of the frontliner. Arrow, nicely dodged. Good job by Aether. You gotta give it to him here. Being aware of that arrow, given the situation that he was in, is big. So great play by Aether. That Dragon Knight is still wreaking havoc on the other hand. Has now come into the mid lane and is starting to destroy that fort. I don't think he's going to walk away with the entire thing, but it's still tons of damage. We have 2 forts destroyed on the side of the Enjoyers regardless. And here comes now Virulent Reaction. We're also getting on top of that the Burning Beetles. Burn, baby, burn. And the Entomb against Masquerade. Beautiful. Really cool kill that they just set up against him. And yeah, they murdered him. They absolutely murdered him. Entomb came through and then they got him. Now we have Imperius also destroyed, so I guess I was wrong. That pick into Judgment helps them to really get the agenda started and go full all out on those attacks. So yes, Anubarak, here we go. There's Judgment. And the kill. They drop him. Oi, 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 the arrow. That's a shame that there was no better follow-up. Ah, that would have been an absolute stellar situation if they just could have had some follow-up there to try and capitalize on that stun with damage. That would have been sweet. As is, wasn't meant to be, I suppose, but now we have 5 kills to 4. Structurally, there's still a big disadvantage for the Enjoyers, but I love the way that they are fighting back in this game. I really love how they are just coming in and doing the best they can in order to not just simply, you know, roll over and die in game number 1. It's tough against an opponent that is as experienced as the players that we see on the side of the Bratwurst boys. I mean, there's not a single player over there that hasn't attended offline events and has a huge amount of competitive experience there. But the Bratwurst, the Enjoyers, I mean, sorry, they have, over the past couple of months, really done well. And a lot of those guys, to be fair, have at least been, you know, in Lavakal, for example, has been at the Nations Cup in Berlin. So it's not like they have no experience whatsoever, but there's obviously a gap between the two teams. And this is something that you have to try and bridge somehow, that you can't be intimidated by. And the red team is doing the best they can given the situation. Now at the top though, we have once again the push coming straight in for the top side fort. Trying to do the work and drop this a bit lower. Down at the bottom of the map, another camp about to be taken too. So yep, they're going through the motions. Do what they can on the map now. Take the top side, drop this one. Still, there's also the camp over on the right side. which the enjoyers are now picking up. So each team is going for the bruisers that they can get. But there is obviously a little bit more wiggle room for the blue team. They control way more of the map, and they still have control of every single fort. At least nominally. If you're looking at the middle of the map, this one is, I mean, this is a meme, right? There's like no hit points left. But as long as it's standing, there's no catapult pressure. And that is essentially what you want, what you're looking for. So, yeah. They're forcing them back at the top. Easy time to spawn a couple of beetles and do damage on the fort. They want to take another one out. And every single fort that you destroy also takes with it another fountain that gets murdered. And the more you can take off the map, the better for your team, because you will still be able to heal yourself, tap off your mana pool at your own forts and fountains, whereas your opponent is just missing those retreat points. And this is essentially what you're looking for in the first place. So yeah, the attacks, they still keep continuing. They're trying to force the fight down at the bottom of the map. Level 16 is available for both teams. And, well, they need to send somebody topside in order to deal with this. Or at least they should. I mean, it's not too bad just now, but make sure that you are not losing the fort to that. Dragonite is also being picked up in the meantime with so much map control, and the red team just trying to react. They eventually will lose some of those points, or lose out on a few of them, and this has happened just here. So with that Dragonite, question is still what they're gonna get. We're now 12 minutes into the game. You won't be able to get too much with the Dragonite, but they're picking up a kill, aren't they? Tracer's about to go down. Yep, she gets destroyed. That's a 5 versus 4 to boot that they're currently rocking. And they're even picking up a second kill. Tyrael and Tracer, the two Ts are gone, and both of them have now died 3 times. And that changes the equation a little bit. I was about to say that with the second Dragonite at the 12-minute mark, you won't be able to do a whole lot of damage. But now that they also remove 2 of the opponent's heroes off the map, that is a little bit different. That will definitely allow them to do more work, and they're already breaking it down at the bot lane with a kill against Junkrat. So yeah, they're getting the wall at least, and that's huge this early in the game. If you get the wall and even just a little bit of damage against the keep, that's fantastic. If you can take the entire thing down, I mean, don't get me wrong, even better. It's just highly unlikely to try and pull that off in the first place. But the keep is gone. 8 kills to 4. The blue team on their way to a first victory. Unless they're blowing it there in the last moment. But this is a solid start into not only the game, but also the series. So, as is, we now have them with a very good lead and experience. I mean, nearly 2 levels that we're talking about right now. Should be easily able to propel that forward to level 20, to tell you the truth. But same time now, attack over here is also coming in. They're trying to do, well, a bit more damage. Well, not necessarily damage, but what they're essentially trying to do right now is to move into this and leverage the thingies. Siege Giants, mercenary camps, thank you, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, Siege Giants and mercenary camps to create more pressure on the map. That's essentially what they're trying to pull off here. So, yeah, we'll see how much they can, after all, do with this. For the red team, it's obviously still highly important that they're at least going to be able to keep inexperienced range and close it. Junkrat and Tyrael trying to get a kill here. There's the Riptire, but Tyrael is already gone. Bad news for him. And here comes Brightwing. Gets eliminated too. Bad news for the enjoyers. I don't think they're going to enjoy this one. 3 heroes are dead, and this might just be the push for Cure and game. This could very well be the 1-0 lead, and it should be. With 40 seconds until we're having Leori and Brightwing back, I don't think there's any denying that this game is going to go to the Bratwurst boys. They make their move towards the core, and unless there's a miracle happening right now, they won't be able to do anything there. I mean, look at Junkrat just getting murdered within a second. He has no chance. The shield is already getting removed, and the rest of the hit points on the core is falling quickly too. Fantastic first game for the blue team as they want to move on to the grand final. Core going down to 30, going down to 20, and there's no stopping it. GG as the blue team takes the victory on Shire and therefore the lead in this series. Game number 2, we are headed to Infernal Shrines, everybody. So, our second map in the series is now coming in, and, well, so far it's been the show of the blue team. let's be frank about this. They looked fantastic. They looked really good. They controlled the flow of the game. They did an absolute excellent job just taking this from start to finish and making it really difficult for the enjoyers to get any kind of footing in the game in the first place. Initially, after level 10, it seemed for a moment like maybe the enjoyers are able to, you know, just turn this around a bit and put up a proper fight. They got multiple kills, but I think a lot of that also came from kind of mediocre positioning at the point in time from the Bratwurst base in the first boys in the first place. So they lost to multiple heroes. There was a chance, but then after the blue team really found back their got back into their rhythm, it completely changed. So right now, as we're heading into game number 2 and also match point for this particular series, we have Chromie banned. So is Hogga. Lucio, we haven't really seen him today. He's been banned out time and time again. And, well, at the same time, we now have good old Maiev banned out. So a little bit less aggressive plays from the Bratwurst boys. Sorry, from basically both teams. It's actually kind of wild when you think about it. They thought that Maiev would be picked as a first pick potentially by the enjoyers, because unless that's what they assumed, there's pretty much no reason to ban her, since if there's anyone that is normally known for playing Maiev, it's obviously Ultralisk, and he would love to play her here. But we get Mephisto as a first pick. Very heavy damage output on Infernal Shrines in particular. So, yep, really strong. And now the question, what is the blue team not only following this up with, but what is their lead into the game? Dehaka for the global, for all of that AoE that he brings. And then again, we get Rhaegar. Yeah, Rhaegar was actually in, I believe it was game number 1, they banned him. Okay, Diablo. I love Diablo in Infernal Shrines. Like, so many walls done, so many opportunities to just like come in and tank somebody down. So yeah, they're gonna try and use him here, just ping pong people along the shrine, get them into hammered into a wall, and yeah, if that works for them, great. But here comes Staggered Kane. So a little bit more zone control that we're getting. Full Diablo team, by the way, up to this point. We have right now a Diablo team. Get me a Vala and get me... Give me a side laner here. Leo. Is Leo still up? No, Leo was already played. Yeah, but again, like, they have a chance of a full-on Diablo team here. We'll see if they actually do that, but yeah. Alright. When it comes to bans, now what we're getting... I guess they're banning out side laners. Yes, Sonya. Good point, Sonya, right. They're trying to destroy the Diablo team. I don't like that. There should be some kind of synergy that you're getting from the game when you're playing a team that is fully from one single franchise. If you're playing a full-on... Diablo team, a full-on StarCraft team or something like that, there should be some kind of advantage that you are getting. Even if it's just like a uniformed skin line across the board, like even if it's something cosmetic, it would be kind of fun if at any point they would have done something like that. I mean, not what we're getting, but it would have been cool. Alright, so Sergeant Hammer, she's also banned out. Makes perfect sense. We've seen her a lot on this map too. Could definitely play her here. Haven't seen that, at least in this series yet. I think we had Sergeant Hammer in our first series of the day played on Infernal Shrines. But, yeah, they need damage. Is Ultralisk playing, for example, Kel'Thas again, which he could? Well, we get Dino and Falstad, makes it, I guess, a little bit less likely. But then again, Stitches is now in, and with Stitches and Falstad, you have Gorge and Gust already available. And if you really wanted to have another follow-up CC tool, then Gravity Labs is not all that bad. Now, of course, you can also play Gul'dan here if you're looking for a mage and simply say, hey, we're going to play around Horrify, we're going to play around Rune Corruption. So there's a couple of tools that they still have if they want them. Medivh and Yrel. Yrel Diablo was always a huge favorite. Now we're getting Medivh together with that. Yeah, and that essentially sets us up for the second map in the best of 3 series. So Infernal Shrines, this could be the last map. Depends on the enjoyers. If they're able to win one, then we would go into the final map, the deciding one in the winner bracket final. But Ultralisk, he has the last pick now. Can always swap heroes around. Are we going to get that mage? Yes, no. And the answer is nope. We get Samuro. All right. Falstad, the only range damage dealer. Guys, let's go. Game number 2. The Bratwurst boys against the enjoyers. Prepare yourselves for battle. Alright, battle it is. We have on the left side in blue the Bratwurst boys, ladies and gentlemen. And well, these bad boys are rocking it with Hasobs and Dehaka, Dino and Falstad. Death Knight is playing Rega. We got Ultralisk on Samuro. And as you can see right now, in addition, we are having a Masquerade with Stitches. And also, not only that, additionally, we're getting him with Hungry for More, which is always a huge plus, at least in my book. On the right side, Mephisto by Arion, Lavakal on Deckard Kane, Ether playing Medivh, Itrex on Diablo, and Richu is playing Urel. Alright, let's go. The attacks, they keep coming over here. So they go for a mad brawl in the middle pretty much immediately right now. So far, so good. And yeah, nobody has died yet, but they're definitely starting to make their plays. So can they maybe get one after all? Now the portals for Medivh are still coming out. With him in the game, we're of course going to also look very heavily towards the stacks on his baseline and see if the blue team is able to kill him and take him out here. But yeah, time will tell. Right now, we still have them rotate between the lanes. Samura's obviously going to play a big role here too as all of this continues. I love how annoying that hero can be. And if you're now going up against someone that is playing a double side lane with Dehaka controlling the global, and then you have Samura on top of that too. As the game continues and we're heading into the mid and late game where forts get destroyed and the map is just getting bigger and bigger, it should be fairly interesting to see what the teams can do with that. And yeah, should be a fun one. But at least for now, what we're getting is a quick play right there onto Itrex. They're also trying to steal the camp away, of course. So the blue team very aggressive right now and really attempting to make a couple of quick moves, which at least allow them for now to go for the camp, I thought, but they get forced back again. But the hook is connecting. Unfortunately for them, of course, they don't have level 10 and Gorge yet. That would always be the neat thing. Once that you get Gorge in, then the real party starts. And that's also where Falstad and the combo that we're going to get from him is going to be pretty interesting too. But we're not quite getting that just yet. What we're getting instead is an early level 4. We have a Tenderizer. Gotta keep that meat pretty. And 15 stacks for Medivh, which is actually not too bad heading into the early game here. So if he is keeping that up, then we should very quickly see him with some additional quest rewards here. One additional quest rewards to say the least, but yeah. Camps again being fought over. So what can they do with that? I mean, right now... No! The caster curse! No! He died! Oh my god, lost all of his stacks. I feel a little bad right now. I mean, at this point, I honestly feel a bit bad. I thought that maybe, you know, he survives through all of this, but yeah, nope. Diablo goes down, Medivh goes down, Medivh loses all of his stacks, and that just feels bad. Yeah, yeah. I kind of feel I have to apologize a little bit, to tell you the truth. Caster Curse strikes from... He's doing great! It's always the same. But again, there is an upside. Now he is free to do whatever he wants for the next couple of seconds until he has a few more stacks together. Stitches with another hook. It's obviously going to get way more dangerous also when he has his level 13 and has the increased range on his hook. But, yeah, in the meantime, the attacks still coming. Trying to make another quick play here onto this. And, well, can they get the objective too? That would be the question right now. Already starting to make a move. 25 to 12 stacks, so the advantage clearly goes to the Bratwurst boys. And we also have them with an early level 7 talent, so that's another big advantage that they're currently running here. They got level 7 and they got the objective. That is... Oh my, this is actually really difficult for the Enjoyers. They lost the wall up at the top. They're barely getting level 7 for the defense now. But there is an objective coming up. The blue team is already split onto the lanes. And yeah, it's insanely dangerous. It's a super dangerous early game simply because the chances of you getting heavily snowballed right now are pretty big and grim. So Samuro in the top lane, Dehaka in the middle. Down here we have the Punisher. They're breaking through all of the walls, taking them on insanely easily. No real problems for them right now to get the damage done. And Urel alone is in so much trouble trying to rotate between two lanes and maintaining experience. You can really see her struggling there. So level lead is in. But the question is then always, how much further does that go, right? So up at the top, still another attack coming as they're starting to go for that fort. They really want to take this thing out. Still a bit of a play also coming through in the middle. And yeah, I don't know. At least right now it's a little bit tricky what the red team has to deal with. The Bratwurst boys are definitely doing well. Level 10 abilities in half a level, and I suppose then it's going to get forced even further. Once you have that Gorge Hook combo online, and particularly with Gust as a potential isolation tool, you know that it's going to be a bit of a wild game. Or can actually get like a lot more dangerous than it already is in the first place. But yeah, the top side attack is still ongoing, which means that now they are going for fort number 1. And since Urel is fully aware that her rogue abilities are about to pop, she's not even trying to go too deep on this. So one fort is already destroyed, and it's an entire level lead that they're running, which means that they have now a chance to start and make a bit of a play for the wall in the middle at least. I would be surprised if they simply let this one slide, because why would they, right? They have the chance to do that, so here's the moment to make that move. Now, talking damage for just a second, 15,000 for Falstad, 18,000 for Mephisto, so it's getting there. Fights are still coming through, and they are insanely aggressive also on the map. I mean, why wouldn't they? They are too far ahead right now. With level 10 available on the other side for the Enjoyers, you gotta be a bit more careful and really also have to respect the abilities that are coming online for them. But, yep, right now the attack is still fully in. They have, at the top now, Urel being pushed back, so the gate at the keep is already taking damage. Durance of Hate is now in. We're getting the ley line on the other side. And, yeah, in addition to that, there's still a couple of portal plays that they can technically try and execute, but that's obviously also always easier said than done. Durance of Hate totally missing, Mephisto not connecting that. Diablo, interestingly enough, not really making a choice yet on his ult. I mean, you can always argue for Leyline into APOC, but he goes instead for the barbecue play. So, yeah, we see him with, I was about to say Dragon's Breath, with a Lightning Breath. And Diablo turning into a majestic dragon and just burning everybody away. I guess they would like that. Next objective is already getting announced, and even before it's up, they're already starting to fight down here on the bottom right. Guys, it's the top one. But Mephisto gets caught and gets portaled out. Yeah, that's the beauty when you are playing Medivh against Stitches. You can always portal the target away. Now, it also means, of course, that you have to be a bit careful how you're using your resources, but still, this is one of the best things that you can do, and that's exactly what they currently try and do. Top side, still, the push keeps coming here. And, yeah, they are attacking this one hard. But how much can they do with that? I mean, right now we have still the temple or the shrine being fought over by the Enjoyers. And this is going to be a big one. This is essentially going to be the Frozen Punisher. So giving that up fully would be a bit weird to me. I don't really see them do that. But apparently I'm wrong. They are, as it seems, very confident to just let that slide and say like, yeah, whatever, we don't care. So, battles continues in the middle for just another second, but yeah, here we are. So, that's the opportunity right now to, I guess, get a kill and take Mephisto down. That might change the fight for the shrine itself. 27, I thought that was enough to set them ahead here. 13 stacks also for Medivh, so he wants to be a bit careful and doesn't want to die. Big hook against Urel. But now the control is in the hands of the Bratwurst boys with the lead in experience and talents. They seem to be making the bigger play for the top side push. So, yeah, they are looking so much better in this team fight now all of a sudden. And I don't necessarily think that there's a chance. Yeah, with Medivh dying again and losing his stacks, that's obviously an utter disaster for them right now. So pretty much nothing that they can do about this. They at least got the Frozen Punisher. They sacrificed themselves in order to get it. But it doesn't change the fact we don't have a single kill. It doesn't change the fact that we do not have a single kill right now for the team in red. They got the Punisher. I mean, again, congratulations. At least they were able to pull that off. But the problem still remains that they lost everything else. And that is disastrous. If you're losing that much ground here, they are 2 levels behind now. You might have denied the objective to the opponent, but you're still losing on all fronts. You're 2 levels behind. You haven't gotten a kill yet. We're 10 minutes into the game. Medivh is reset, is at 0 stacks again. And they're desperately trying to somehow get a foothold in this game, and it's just not happening. Bratwurst boys are just too strong here. Way too strong. So, yeah, it's half a level until 16, and then we have another big lead coming in for the blue team, which is going to make matters worse. That's why they're trying to fight right now, but the disengage is coming with the quick gust, and it buys time. Buys time for the bad boy at the top, Ultralisk. And Forstad is flying over. They're both just trying to out-rotate them, to outplay them here and use the mobility. They're going for the topside keep. They're not even fighting for this right now. This is horrible. Durance of Fate connects. Ancestral does too, though. Death Knight's still alive. They still can't kill him. And the topside keep is getting attacked and might even fall as all of this continues. Down here at the bottom of the map, they're doing their best to just keep them in play. Urel is the only defender. Big hook. Big hook and the portal. That's an awkward portal. But yeah, so now 16 is in at the top. They're going for the keep, and this one is not looking good. They take it down. We are 11 minutes into the game, and this keep is going to get destroyed. It's gone, and boy, oh boy, are the enjoyers now in trouble. Yeah, they definitely are. They really are. Tons of trouble brewing for them right now. And we'll see what they can do here. Because at this point, I just don't know. It's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be very difficult for them to do anything about it. With Medivh dying again, losing his stacks. They go for the camp. Even Urel is in trouble up at the top lane. Down here at the bottom, the party continues. It seems like they're really throwing everything into them and just hope that eventually they're going to survive it. But there's Urel gone, that's Mephisto gone. They're going to lose the point here too, and they're going to lose the camp. Everything is just going to shit for them. And it's honestly a little bit heartbreaking. But again, the enjoyers making it into the winner bracket final here in the first place was already a big win, and they're gathering tons of points for the playoff run that they want to execute eventually. So as is, there's the play. Now they're making their move, and yeah, we'll see what they can do with it. Because the top keep has fallen. The fort in the middle is about to get destroyed. Punisher is now, another one is activating, but they're not even making a move for this. They're just attacking everywhere on the map. We have them down at the bottom with 3, and then in the middle you have Harzobs with the Haka. So it's just hit after hit, blow after blow that is coming. 47,000 damage for Falstad, who finally has to retreat here. Samura is just pushing towards the core already, and they're essentially taking a 4-level lead. You heard that right. They're essentially 4 levels ahead right now. That's what we're talking here. It's ridiculous. 4 levels ahead. And how do you play against this? It's pretty much impossible. It's a 5 versus 5, but it's 19 against 15. Now they're gonna get their next talent in a moment, but just look at Falstad. They're trying to gust him maybe into the corner. No, Masquerade. They just flying to kill him. Oh my god, those shitters. Unbelievable. They just went in like, yep, you're mine. Come in, take him down, no chance. And well, with this, we're now having them move straight in for the Punisher, I suppose. The fort in the middle has nearly been destroyed. It's technically still in play, but they can take it at any point. And at the bottom of the map, we got the Arcane Punisher as they're starting to come in for this. So, yeah, it's big. Again, the enjoyers are struggling here, but it is to be expected. They're going up against the favorite in this tournament. And the Bratwurst boys, they're doing well. They're looking obviously to end the game here with a 2-0. They have level 20 now, the big, huge advantage in all of this. Level 20 for them as they are barreling through the bot lane with a Punisher, looking to end this. Big damage. They haven't lost a single hero yet. 11 kills to 0. 11 kills to 0 at this point. And, well, with that, they are looking for the perfect game. They haven't lost a fort. Have they lost the tower? They have... Nah, well, they kill me deep again. They have lost the side wall. They have lost a gate, and that's it. So they haven't lost the fort. They have not lost a single hero yet. And they killed 13. 13 to 0 kills. Fantastic performance here by the blue team. Again, they're coming in as the favorite. You can clearly see it. They move on to the grand final of qualifier number 2. We'll see if they're able to go the distance in the second qualifier. But for now, we're going to focus a bit on the losers bracket. The enjoyers are dropping down there. And we'll see who eventually faces off against the Bratwurst boys in the grand final, if we're going to get a rematch, or if maybe it's the Swedes coming in. Either way, GG, well played, a 2-0 for the blue team.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.